Quickly, just give you an update. My sister Sarah's birthday. She just turned 37 on Veterans Day. A lot of people believe the rapture was that day because of prophetic signs and, things that were happening. They're also stating that this month is Cheshvan, when the floods began with Noah. I believe that date is the 18th, 19th, or the 22nd, somewhere around there. It might be the 21st. But anyways, my sister Sarah, her name, it means princess. It also has other symbolic meanings in the Bible. But 37 right here, it has two different meanings. It means abatul. The word separates hollow right there in the Greek. It was one of King David's wives, but down here it is to make holy, to purify, or to concentrate or consecrate. Now, I'm going to show you something. Here we go.
All right, everyone, I appreciate the patience. I just wanted to get this quick update out to you before the night was over, because this is going to be something very serious in the next couple days if we don't see a drastic change in this model or the path of this potential Hurricane Sarah. We started talking about...
Okay, so why is that a big deal? Because this is 7 days after her birthday, okay? And I wasn't going to represent this dream, but now I have a feeling I know the meaning. So I had 3 dreams in a row. The first dream I had was I was in a cornfield, and there was a gentleman named Tim that was in the field. He had his shirt off, and he was trying to get me to look at him. And I was not interested. So he ended up being in this field, and it was in November, pure as day, plain as day, November. And it was cold out, and I seen like little chunks of snow, but it wasn't like a big mounds of snow. But I knew it was cold because I was in a coat, and for some reason he was not, and it mainly because he is a farmer. And then he bent down, and I noticed the field was barren, but there was this one plant, that germinated, and it was a seed that turned into a bean, and inside this bean it was like it germinated. It looked like it was a microgreen inside of the seed, and it was like a soybean, or it was a bean plant of some sort. I don't even think it was a soybean because of the way that it was shaped. It looked more like a pinto bean or a lentil or something like that. And we know that this stuff is symbolic. New life, new beginnings, things like that, and letting go of the past into the future. Okay, and I had this on November 11th, this dream. And we know 11 means destruction, so on and so forth. I could get into that. And then I dreamt the following day, again, that my daughter was pregnant, Olivia, and she was 15 weeks along, which I think is crazy because my daughter is not pregnant, obviously. But this is the 3rd dream I had this year of her being pregnant, and I want to show the meaning of her name. Okay, it says that there is not a specific biblical meaning, but it has a connection with peace and can be found in the Bible. Olive trees symbolize peace and friendship, and it talks about the great flood. I just think all of this, now, like I said, I know what my dreams are meaning because I had 3 of them in a row. Now, we was on a ship, mind you, when I had this dream. Okay, and then the symbolic number of 15 in the Greek, to do something that profits others, or to do something a favor. And then even in the Hebrew, it means willing or consenting, longing. Okay, and we are willing, longing, consenting to what? For Jesus Christ's return. Now, the next day, okay, so I had the dream on my sister Sarah's birthday, on the 11th, and then I dreamt the 12th that my daughter was pregnant, and then I had a dream that that I was working for Comfort Keepers, which is actually the name of the company that I work for. as a caregiver. But in my dream, this comfort keepers wasn't to take care of people. It was, but I had a specific job, and it was to put all of these zoo animals that was running around wild back into its proper place. And inside this house, they had nothing but it was a big cage, almost like you would go to a zoo. You'd open up a door, and then there's a massive cage from end to end, and you would watch like monkeys climb and things like that. You could touch it, but you couldn't touch the animals. But in my dream, I could. There was raccoons, there was monkeys, lions and tigers and bears and dolphins, and it was just incredible. And I had to put the animals. I was the keeper over the animals. Okay. And, in my dream, I knew it was like loading up the ark. All right. So I know that this represents the bringing in, me being like how Adam was the, keeper over the animals, and then you had Noah who had to bring the animals into the ark from the Lord, during the timing of this flood. And, it took him, if I'm not mistaken, within 7 days, he had to get all the animals into the ark so that God could close the door. And, and I thought it was funny with the number 7 and with Veterans Day and about the Sarah Storm hurricane track that's coming back around. And we are starting to get winds and everything. And it's also around this exact same timing next week, we have a massive cold front, which could possibly bring in snow. We've been in the 50s to the 80s. Kid you not, our weather has been wonky to the point where, I always sleep in socks, long sleeves, and pants, even during the summer because I get cold. Well, I've been sleeping in shorts and a t-shirt and no socks, which is super weird, is not like me because I've just been dripping with sweat. And now today we have to turn our heat on and we're freezing. Anyways, all of this is symbolic of what is coming. Okay, along with we have at the days of Noah, so shall be the coming of the Son of Man. All right, and we're at that point. They were eating, drinking, marrying, given unto marriage until the day that Noah entered the ark, right? And then the floods came and took them all away. That's exactly what's about to happen. And I'm going to have you watch a little bit more of this video.
Talking about this a few days ago, and now we actually have spaghetti models coming out from the National Hurricane Center showing exactly what we were talking about the other day. This thing looks like it's going to become a monster in the Caribbean. That's almost guaranteed. I mean, take a look at these numbers already. 928 millibars, that is nearly a Category 5 before it even leaves the Caribbean. Now, granted, this thing is expected to start weakening as it gets into the cooler waters of the Gulf, but the stronger it is before it gets into the Gulf, the more momentum it has with that strength. Because once it's there, there's not much room to go before there is a state in its way. Now, what we need to pay attention to is that sudden right hook that takes Sarah into Western Florida. Now, what we want is...
Okay, so the thing is, if this hits again, I've had many people have dreams that Florida gets wiped off the map. And even in the April 8th eclipse map where it shows that Florida is gone off the maps, like it's underwater and America being split. I truly believe with the video that I've just attached to this with Netanyahu, where they keep saying peace and security. We know peace, when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them. And it's no coincidence how we now have a Hurricane Sarah coming, around the same timing as all this thing. Anything could happen within the next month and a half for Trump's inauguration. I do believe that sudden destruction is about to happen, and I believe that America is getting ready and will be wiped off the map here soon. I cannot tell you a date. I can't tell you that. But in order for there to be some type of order, there's got to be some type of chaos. And, we have the man of the hour that is going to come and fix it, and doing it peaceably. And peace is something that he absolutely guarantees that he will make. And there has to be some type of peace, for the Antichrist to fix and to do what he said he's going to do. But he turns vile. And right now, all of this is just talk. and speculation. And I'm not saying that this is absolute guaranteed the way things are going to go down, but I do know that the rapture is soon and sudden destruction is coming upon not only America but to the world. And there's going to have to be some type of flatteries and lies to get people on board, with this type of process. So, anyways, pray over this as always. And as you guys can see, this is Hurricane Sarah, and you guys can watch the channel Into Thin Air, and figure out, for yourselves, these events and other things that are going to take place. Okay, and you guys see this. Look at this. The Trojan horse. The people welcoming him in, the whole entire world in a deception. Trump and Elon Musk. Look at that. It's all a trap. That's the point. All of these players they're intriguing the people. Now I'm going to show you guys a couple articles here, and I was going to let you see all of it, but I'm just going to let you guys read the headlines, and you guys can go on the breaking news app and find that for yourself. Okay, see, Europe is on high alert as 4 more countries listed as next on Putin's invasion, excuse. And this is the map right here. All of these where they say, oh no, this isn't in the Bible talked about. Well, it is. This is all the British maps. So he's been making threats, and this isn't just, for America. This is going out to the world. That's why we have China, Russia, and NATO forces that's going to team up with Russia, and it's going to be against the United States. And I'm going to show you guys this other thing here. See, and right here, a World War III warning issued by a retired general. I don't find this coincidence with the time, how everyone's talking about a world war, and they even said that they believe that Trump would be the one that brings that in so that he could bring in the peace. Now, like I said, that part is speculation. I don't know. I do believe with what's going on in America, that Babylon is going to get completely wiped off, the map, and it's not going to be able to rise because our roots, in Daniel chapter 11 and Daniel chapter 8 even talks about it has to be cut off, and there's going to be a kingdom that rises that's going to be different from all the rest, and it says that the Antichrist comes from the richest part, and we know that America is a free country. America is rich. And he goes, to the coastlands and comes back, and it's going to be different than what it was, from the former. So now this is on my memory. I want you guys to read this with me. I was listening to Liberia last night to their concert, and I fell asleep, and I happened to see lots of angels in a row. Now, if you guys don't know who Liberia is, they're from London. And they have the most beautiful angelic voices that I have ever heard. And I ended up falling asleep listening. I used to listen to music all the time, falling asleep. Well, I ended up having this vision. And these are like children ages 12 to 15 or 12 to 17 that sing in this concert. If you guys don't know who they are, look them up and listen to some of their songs. Oh my gosh, it's just beautiful. So anyways, I happened to see a lot of angels in a row bent back like an arc on each side of this road thing. One at a time they separated. They were pure white, something around their neck. As they got to the last one, Jesus was at the last one. He lifted his arms, and one by one left behind him, standing in line on a hill, and it was a flat piece of rock, very big. I saw men and women. Some were in white suits, other in robes. I saw the sky orange, look like a flat rock. Went down the middle, it split in half, and I saw a golden road. Then I saw Jesus standing on a hill with thousands of people and some children in Jesus' arms, which obviously represent the rapture. So Jesus was pointing to the cross, and everyone followed it. He touched it, and it fell over, and it disappeared. It had crown of thorns and nails, and the veil was not there. Jesus had dark hair and the most indescribable eyes. As we followed Jesus, I saw a courtyard and tall pillars. I felt myself lift up in the air and saw my body fade away from the earth. It was so bright and warm, and I was looking down at the courtyard. Around the top of the pillars were some type of flowers, and I saw the ground, and it was concrete solid golden and slick, and I'm on the courtyard grounds, and I see ahead of me, I remember this plain as day, by the way, I see eyes, all kinds of happy eyes, demon eyes, Jesus' eyes. Suddenly I saw these swans flying overhead, and as soon as they noticed me, now mind you, in this dream, this is the same, at the same timing of the rapture, this is what happens. Suddenly I saw these swans flying overhead. As soon as they noticed me, they looked down, and there was angels. They picked me up on their back. We went to earth. Now, I was like how John seen a vision while he was, in the spiritual realm, is exactly how this dream was. And I saw hundreds of them, and they was literally swans as they flew, but they were human as they looked down, and it was so cool. There was clearish white, and I saw the Statue of Liberty fall down, and the road I was walking towards, it was a huge earthquake that hit. Many people disappeared, and I tried walking towards it, and I couldn't. I saw water flowing like a flood, and then I was the size of an ant, and I saw all kinds of shoes walk by, and then I saw buildings fall. There was people just standing there knowing that they was going to die and didn't care, and they couldn't see me, but I touched them, and they were saved. Okay, it was like I had a mission, kind of like how the 144,000 are going to go around preaching the gospel, bringing people to Christ, is kind of exactly what this was. Okay, and then they couldn't see me, but I touched them, and they were saved, and I saw a spirit, and it was in my own, and it was amazing to see the work that was done by the touch of my hands, and I woke up, and I was in tears by the time I woke up. So I believe with the destruction of America that's coming, you can see that this was in November 13th of 2015. This was 9 years ago. And all the things that now that we have dreamt, that we have been preaching about, is starting to come to pass. And I know a lot of people don't believe that America, it will ever be destroyed, but they're absolutely wrong. And some people believe that Babylon is just a city, and it very well could be New York. But no matter what, New York is the backbone for, America thriving, along with Washington. And I believe that's why nukes, are going to come and be able to hit. And I believe that's why they're trying to provoke this war now, is for the destruction of America, so the Antichrist can fix everything that is broken. And that's why, Biden and the administration is trying to speed everything up so fast. You guys see all this stuff that's happening worldwide. This stuff isn't, just the man-made. I mean, some of it, yeah, but like, this isn't a fairy tale. We're literally living in biblical prophecy. We see Daniel, Revelation, Matthew, Mark, Luke, all coming to pass. So, and the Ezekiel wars, Psalm 83, Isaiah 17, it's all here, guys. So pray over this as always, okay? And take a deeper dive into these things that's happening. And I'm sorry about my voice. My throat's really swollen, and I haven't been feeling the greatest today. So I didn't even go into work. So, but I just wanted to drop this few videos down for you. So, like I said, pray over this as always. See you there in the air. God bless.